Her stupid habit broke us. Heartbreaking cheating wife story. If this story shakes you to your core, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to Viora for more heart-wrenching tales that unravel love's darkest secrets. I came home early one night, expecting a quiet evening with my wife. Instead, I found her in our bedroom with 3 strangers, her sobs echoing through the house. That moment turned my life into a cheating wife story I never thought I'd live. I'm James Carter, a 38-year-old financial consultant with a steady life in Portland. For nearly a decade, I thought I had it all. A cozy home, a solid career, and a wife, Emily, who seemed to complete me. Emily, 35, was charming, sharp, and the life of every room, a marketing manager with a smile that could sell anything. We'd built a life together, filled with weekend brunches, summer hikes, and dreams of starting a family. I trusted her completely, but that night, trust became a casualty in my own home. It started innocently enough. A client canceled a dinner meeting, so I headed home earlier than planned, around 9 p.m. The house was dark, but Emily's car was in the driveway. I figured she was catching up on work or maybe napping. But as I stepped inside, something felt wrong. A jacket I didn't recognize hung on the rack. Shoes, 3 pairs, none mine, were scattered by the door. Then I heard it. Muffled voices from upstairs, followed by Emily's cries. Not the kind of tears I'd comforted her through before. These were different, raw, almost performative. My heart raced, but I didn't call out. Instead, I climbed the stairs, each creak amplifying the dread in my chest. The bedroom door was ajar, and the sight stopped me cold. Emily was there, entangled with 3 men, one of whom I recognized instantly. Ryan Mitchell, a slick realtor I'd never trusted. The others were strangers, their faces blurred by the dim light. Emily's sobs mixed with their laughter, a sound that burned itself into my memory. This wasn't just a cheating wife caught in a moment of weakness. It was something darker, more deliberate. I didn't scream or charge in. Rage boiled inside me, but I'm not the type to lose control. Instead, I pulled out my phone, hands steady, and recorded the scene through the crack in the door. 30 seconds of undeniable proof. Then I slipped downstairs, silent as a ghost. The rain outside tapped against the windows, a fitting backdrop to the wreckage of my marriage. I'd read Reddit cheating stories before, but living one was a different kind of hell. The next morning, Emily acted like nothing had happened. She kissed me goodbye, chirping about a busy day at work. I played along, my face a mask of normalcy. But as soon as she left, I tore through the house, searching for answers. In her office, tucked behind a stack of books, I found a lockbox. Inside were DVDs labeled with dates, emails printed and folded, and a USB drive. My hands shook as I loaded the first disc into my laptop. It was worse than I'd imagined. The videos showed Emily with others, Ryan, a tennis coach named Ethan Brooks, even a local councilman, Mark Sullivan. Some were filmed in our home, others at hotels or private clubs. The emails were even more brutal. One to her friend Claire read, "James is clueless but useful. He'll never suspect a thing." Another, to Ryan, bragged, "I'm just biding my time until I can walk away free." She called me stupid and a means to an end. This wasn't an emotional cheating story. It was a calculated betrayal, a network of lies spanning years. I sat there, the laptop's glow casting shadows on the walls, feeling like I'd been gutted. How had I missed this? The late nights she'd blamed on work, the weekends away for conferences, the way she'd dodge questions about her day. I trusted her, loved her, and she'd turned our marriage into a toxic relationship story. But I didn't break down. Instead, I started planning. First, I moved out quietly, renting a small apartment across town. I didn't tell Emily. I just left a note saying I'd be away for work. Then I called my best friend, Lucas Hayes, a lawyer with a knack for winning tough cases. Over coffee, I showed him the videos and emails. His jaw tightened. "This is beyond infidelity," he said. "She's been using you, James. We can bury her with this." But I didn't want to bury her. Not yet. I wanted her to feel the weight of her choices, just like I did. The first twist came when I dug deeper into the USB drive. One email from Emily to Claire mentioned a side hustle tied to her affairs. She'd been leveraging her connections, Ryan's real estate deals, Mark's political influence, to secure contracts for her company, all while hiding the profits in a separate account. She wasn't just cheating. She was profiting off her lies, using our marriage as a cover. The betrayal cut deeper than I'd thought possible. I decided to start with Ryan. Lucas arranged a meeting at a quiet bar, just the three of us. Ryan swaggered in, all charm and fake smiles, thinking he could talk his way out. "Look, man, it was a mistake," he started. I didn't let him finish. I slid my phone across the table, playing the video of him and Emily in my bed. His face went pale. "You've got two choices," I said, my voice calm. "Lose your career and reputation, or make this right." Lucas laid out our terms. A hefty financial settlement to cover the emotional distress he'd caused. Ryan stammered, then agreed, signing the papers Lucas had ready. Driving home, the city lights blurred through the rain-streaked windshield. I'd won the first round, but it didn't feel like victory. I kept seeing Emily's face, the woman I'd loved for a decade, now a stranger who'd mocked me behind my back. I caught her cheating on camera, but the real question was what came next. Could I keep this cold, calculated fight going? Or would the pain of her betrayal break me first? If this story's got your heart racing, smash that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Viora for more unforgettable tales of betrayal and resilience. Let's dive back in. The rain hadn't stopped, a relentless drizzle mirroring the storm inside me. I'd forced Ryan Mitchell to pay for his role in Emily's betrayal, but the victory felt hollow. Every night, I saw her face, laughing with those men, mocking me in emails, turning our marriage into a lie. This cheating wife story wasn't just about infidelity. It was about a decade of my life unraveling, and I was determined to reclaim what was left. I holed up in my new apartment, a stark contrast to the home I'd shared with Emily. The walls were bare, the silence heavy. My phone buzzed with texts from her. First angry, then pleading, "James, where are you? We need to talk." I ignored them. Lucas, my lawyer and best friend, warned me to stay focused. "She's not done playing games," he said over whiskey at his office. "We need to hit the others. Ethan, Mark, her network." I nodded, gripping the USB drive that held her secrets. This wasn't revenge. It was justice, and I wasn't backing down. The first twist came when I dug into Ethan Brooks, the tennis coach. I'd always found him too charming, his smiles too lingering when he'd coached Emily at the local club. The videos confirmed my suspicions. Ethan and Emily, tangled together in the club's locker room, her laughter echoing off the tiles. But the USB held more. An email from Ethan to Emily, boasting about using her to get VIP clients through the club's owner, Greg Larson. She wasn't just cheating. She was a pawn in Ethan's hustle, trading her affairs for his business deals. Lucas arranged a meeting with Greg at the tennis club, a sleek facility that reeked of wealth. Greg was all bluster, dismissing my claims until I played the locker room video on my tablet. His face went ashen. "This happened on my property?" he stammered. Lucas leaned in, voice like steel. "You've got a PR nightmare unless you make this right." I didn't want Greg's money. I wanted Ethan gone. By the end of the hour, Greg agreed to fire Ethan and pay a settlement to avoid legal complications. As we left, the sun broke through Portland's clouds, a rare moment of clarity. But I felt no relief, only the weight of what came next. Back at the apartment, I sifted through more of Emily's emails. One thread with Claire, her best friend, stopped me cold. "James is so predictable," Emily wrote. "He'll work himself to death while I live my life. I'm just waiting for the right moment to leave." Claire's reply was worse. "You've got him fooled. Keep it up, girl." Fool. The word stung, a reminder of how blind I'd been. I'd scrolled through Reddit cheating stories, thinking they were exaggerated, but here I was, living a true cheating story that cut deeper than fiction. The second twist hit when Claire reached out. Her email was hesitant. "James, I owe you an apology. Can we meet?" Asterisk, I didn't trust her. She'd been complicit, cheering Emily's lies. But Lucas urged me to hear her out. She might know something we don't, he said. We met at a crowded cafe, the clink of mugs drowning out the tension. Claire looked nervous, her eyes darting. I didn't know how far she'd gone, she said, voice low. Emily's changed. She's not the friend I knew. Claire handed me a flash drive. This is everything I have. Texts, voicemails, stuff she didn't know I kept. I plugged it into my laptop later, and the files were a goldmine. Voicemails of Emily plotting with Mark Sullivan, the councilman, to secure city contracts for her company. Texts to Claire about keeping James in the dark, while she funneled money to a hidden account. One voicemail chilled me. Emily laughing, saying, "He's so loyal, it's almost sad. I'll be free soon." Free. From me. From us. This wasn't just a wife affair exposed. It was a masterclass in deception. I confronted Mark next. Lucas set up the meeting at a private office, neutral ground. Mark, all polished suits and fake sincerity, tried to negotiate. Let's keep this quiet, James. No need for drama. I didn't blink, sliding a USB copy across the table. Your voters might disagree, I said, referencing his scenes with Emily. Lucas outlined our demands. A public withdrawal from his council seat or a massive payout to settle discreetly. Mark's charm crumbled. By the next day, his resignation hit the local news, citing personal reasons. I didn't celebrate. Each win felt like peeling back another layer of Emily's lies, exposing a stranger I'd called my wife. But Emily wasn't idle. The third twist came via an ex-post from an anonymous account, accusing me of harassing her at work. It was subtle, painting her as a victim and me as a bitter ex. Comments piled up, some calling me toxic. I recognized her strategy. She was trying to flip the narrative, make me the villain in this cheating wife story. Lucas traced the account to a coworker Emily had charmed, but we didn't retaliate online. Instead, I gave Claire's flash drive to a journalist friend, Anna, who ran a local investigative blog. No names, I told her. Just the truth. Anna's post, Corruption and Infidelity in Portland's Elite, dropped 2 days later, detailing Emily's affairs and financial schemes without directly naming her. The backlash was instant, with ex-users speculating about the mystery woman and her shady councilman. Emily called me that night, her voice shaking. James, please stop this. I'm sorry. Okay? I was stupid. I let her talk, her words a mix of tears and excuses. She claimed Ryan had pressured her, that Mark had promised her contracts, that she'd lost herself. It was the wife-cheating confession I'd expected, but it rang hollow. You didn't lose yourself, I said, my voice steady. You chose this. I hung up, the silence in my apartment heavier than ever. The rain outside had turned to a storm, lightning flashing across the city. I wanted to believe her remorse, but I'd seen too much. The final twist of the week came from Lucas. He'd audited Emily's hidden account, tracing it to a shell company linked to Ryan and Mark. She's been skimming thousands, he said, showing me the numbers. Enough to start over somewhere else. The realization hit hard. Emily hadn't just betrayed me. She'd planned to vanish, leaving me to clean up her mess. I thought about confronting her, showing her the evidence, but Lucas had a better idea. Let's freeze the account, he said. Cut her off completely. By the next morning, it was done. Emily's Freedom Fund was locked, her plans crumbling. As I sat in my apartment, the storm raging outside, I felt the weight of every choice. I'd caught Emily cheating, exposed her network, and dismantled her schemes. But what was I fighting for? Justice? Closure? Or was I just trying to prove I wasn't the fool she'd called me? This toxic relationship story had consumed me, and I wasn't sure who I'd be when it ended. If this story's left you reeling, smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Viora for more raw, emotional tales that expose the truth behind love and lies. Let's finish this. The storm outside my apartment raged on, lightning splitting the Portland sky as I stared at the bank statement Lucas had sent. Emily's Freedom Fund was frozen, her plans to vanish with my money shattered. I dismantled her network. Ryan, Ethan, Mark. But the victory felt like ash. This cheating wife story had stripped me bare, leaving me to wonder if I was fighting for justice or just running from the pain of her betrayal. The rain battered the windows, a reminder that this wasn't over. Not yet. Lucas pushed me to keep going. She's cornered, he said over coffee the next morning, his eyes sharp. But cornered animals fight dirty. He was right. Emily's ex-post accusing me of harassment had fizzled, drowned out by Anna's viral exposé. But I knew she wasn't done. I'd caught her cheating on camera, exposed her affairs, and locked her out of her schemes. What was her next move? I clutched the USB drive, Claire's evidence, my insurance policy, feeling its weight like a loaded gun. The first twist came that afternoon. Claire texted me, her message frantic. Emily's at my place. She's losing it. Wants to see you. I hesitated. Claire had helped me, but her loyalty to Emily ran deep. Was this a trap? Lucas urged caution, but I needed to know what Emily was planning. I agreed to meet at a public spot, a diner near the river, its neon sign flickering in the drizzle. Emily was already there, alone, her face drawn, eyes red. No charm, no performance, just a woman who looked broken. James, she whispered as I sat across from her. I'm sorry. I was wrong, so wrong. Her voice cracked, and for a moment, I saw the Emily I'd married, the one who'd laughed with me at farmers' markets, who'd planned our future over late-night wine. But then I remembered her emails, her voice calling me clueless, her years of lies. This wasn't a wife betrayal confession born of remorse. It was survival. You're sorry because you got caught, I said, my tone flat. You built a life on my trust and burned it down. Her tears fell, but she didn't deny it. Instead, she leaned forward, her hands trembling. I was trapped, James. Ryan, Mark, they pushed me into it. I didn't know how to stop. I almost laughed. Pushed her? She'd orchestrated it all, profiting off her affairs while mocking me to her lovers. You chose them, I said, standing. You chose everything. Her sob followed me out, but I didn't look back. The rain soaked my jacket as I walked away, the river's current a mirror to my churning thoughts. Could I have saved her once? Or was she always this stranger? The second twist hit the next day. Anna, my journalist friend, called with news. Emily's company is under investigation, she said. Your evidence tipped off the feds. They're looking at her contracts, the shell company, everything. I froze, the phone heavy in my hand. I'd wanted Emily to face consequences, but federal scrutiny? That was bigger than I'd planned. Anna's blog post had sparked more than online chatter. It had caught the attention of regulators. Emily's world wasn't just crumbling. It was imploding. Part of me felt vindicated, but another part wondered if I'd gone too far. This wasn't just a husband revenge story anymore. It was a public reckoning. I met Lucas at his office to strategize. The feds will want to talk to you, he warned, flipping through Claire's files. You're clean, but Emily might try to drag you down with her. He showed me a new email from Claire, forwarded from Emily's account by mistake. It was a draft to her boss, claiming I'd manipulated her company's finances to frame her. The audacity floored me. Even now, with her back against the wall, she was spinning lies, trying to paint me as the villain in this cheating wife story. I decided to confront her one last time. Lucas set it up at a neutral law office with him present as my counsel. Emily walked in, her posture defiant despite the bags under her eyes. You're destroying me, she said, her voice sharp. Is that what you want? I didn't flinch. You destroyed us, I replied, sliding a folder across the table. Inside were printouts of her emails, texts, and financial records, proof of her schemes. The feds have this now. You can't lie your way out. Her face crumpled, but she didn't beg. Instead, she laughed, a bitter sound that chilled me. You think you're so smart, James? But I loved you once. I just wanted more. That admission, half confession, half defiance, hit harder than her lies. Loved me once. Was it true, or another manipulation? I didn't respond. Lucas ended the meeting, and Emily left without another word, her heels echoing in the hallway. The rain outside had slowed to a mist, but the weight in my chest hadn't lifted. The third twist came a week later. I was at a restaurant, meeting Lucas to finalize my divorce papers, when Emily walked in on the arm of a new man, David Walsh, her company's CFO. She hadn't seen me, her laughter bright as she leaned into him. My stomach twisted. She'd lost everything. Her money, her allies, her reputation. Yet here she was, moving on. Lucas noticed my stare. "Let it go, James," he said. But I couldn't. I approached their table, calm as ever, and slid a single page in front of David. An email from Emily to Claire, dated years ago. James was sweet, but the thrill was worth it. "I'll leave when I'm ready." David's eyes scanned the words, then flicked to Emily. Her face went pale. "What is this?" he asked, voice low. I didn't answer, just walked away, leaving her to explain. As I stepped outside, the city was quiet, the mist settling over the streets. I didn't need to hear her excuses. The truth was enough. The divorce went through the next month. I kept the house, sold it, and moved to a new place with a view of the river. The feds charged Emily with fraud, though she avoided jail with a plea deal. Ryan and Mark faded into obscurity, their careers in ruins. I should have felt free, but I didn't. I'd won, exposed her cheating wives' network, and walked away whole. But every night, I saw that email. "I loved you once." Was it real? Did it matter? Standing by the river one evening, the water reflecting the city's lights, I thought about the man I'd been. Trusting, hopeful, blind. This true cheating story had changed me, hardened me. I'd fought for justice, but at what cost? Could I love again? Or had Emily's lies closed that door forever? I didn't know. All I had was the truth, and the question it left behind. Had I reclaimed my life, or just survived it? What would you do? Move on or keep looking back? Share your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button if this story broke your heart. And subscribe to Viora for more unforgettable stories that peel back the layers of love and betrayal. Thanks for joining me.